Welcome in this edition of Success at BOS at Success, that is Success at CA Examination BOS. I, CA Ashish Gupta, Deputy Director of Board of Studies, welcomes you all. Now with me, my assistant is CA Manish Gupta.
I'm CA Manish Gupta, BOS faculty. I assist CA Ashish Gupta sir in this paper.
Manish and me both are looking after this paper jointly. So if whenever any student you call us, if I am not there, Manish will assist you. Okay. So student, we start with this paper. However, we have start receiving the queries. Dear sir, मेरा क्वेश्चन सिर्फ ये है कि SFM AFM में स्टेप वाइज मार्किंग का क्या रूल है, प्रोसीजर, और इसको भी आज सेशन में इंक्लूड करिएगा. प्रदीप बेटा, एक्चुअली of course there is stepwise marking, okay, but scheme we cannot say right now, or because scheme is examinations per perspective, okay, there in the preview, okay, but of course there is a scheme there, a stepwise marking scheme is there. If your half answer is correct, then you will awarded half marks, okay, don't worry about that, you won't lose any marks. Now next with query is is it required to study theory in a non-theory chapters like derivatives, forex, IRM? This is Karaku Kumar. Yes, Karaku, it is a very essential, because as every time I in my class also, in our live virtual classes also, I repeat only one thing. Student, it's paper setters freedom. Okay, they can test you your knowledge in any manner. How, of course, there are some theoretical chapters are allocated for the in examination pattern, but still, a paper setter can test your knowledge. However, I give you one more strong reason for reading the theory of these theoretical chapter non-practical chapters. That is because if you read the theory, okay, if you refer the theory, two things happens, two good things, positive things happens. First, sometimes you may not be that much clear on any concept. This concept will be clear to you very much. Okay, sometimes, okay, you are doing the numericals, but after trying some question, but of course, but sometimes there may be you have some any doubt. So by referring the theory, it may be possible that your doubt this may be over. Okay. On the other hand, it are also that as I told you, sometime suppose since in examination generally the questions are in combination of questions are there. Each question has a sub part. So it may be possible that you may be well versed with the two sub parts, but if you have skipped the theory of the same non-theoretical chapter, then it may be possible that you may not able to attempt the question. You are unnecessary, you will lose the marks. Okay, and further, now in the current new scheme that is in now we have come out with a new scheme in the paper of AFM. Our paper is MCQ based. It may be possible that some theoretical questions may also be MCQ asked from these chapters. Okay, student. Well, before I proceed, will there replacement decision revise करवा दीजिए sir. Ravi, actually here in this session, it will be a bit difficult for us to revise the replacement session. My request to you, please refer our recorded sessions available on ICAI website, BOS Knowledge Portal. There the replacement replacement topic has been replacement of has in a detailed manner. So please you do refer the same, and if still you have any doubt, please do contact us over the telephone. I will happy to resolve your each and every doubt. One student is asking that can we write alternative answer? The Kota is asking, Mr. Kota Bardwaj is asking, sir, can we write alternative answer in examination? Student, please note that whenever, see, there are two answers are, sometimes there are two answers are possible. And generally this possibility rises in case if there is any confusion. Okay, there is any scope of assumption in the question. Like for example, sometime it has not been mentioned in the question, especially in case of a security valuation. That is the dividend is given. Say if it has been mentioned dividend expected, of course it is a D1. If it has been mentioned dividend declared last year, then of course it is a D0. There is no doubt at all. There will be no alternative solution. However, simple term mentioned dividend. Now, in this case, there are two assumptions. Either we can take it D0 or D1. In that case, ICAI consider both answers. Okay. In that case, write only one answer, whatever you wish. Okay, whatever you want to come. Now, my request to you, if you know the two answers, one is main, another is alternative. Suppose in study material has been given there. So my request to you, please write first alternative main answer only. Okay, you know to mention both answer only. So my request to you, go for first main answer if you know it very well. If you know any confusion. And good morning, Jitendra. Good morning, Kirti. Mansha Mansavi. Will theory be asked from practical chapters that I clearly replacement decisions is there? Sir, how many decimal point should we use for the calculation and what should be highlight in our answer? Ruchika, I will give you have some patience. I will give you this answer of when our Forex discussion chapter will come here. Of course, I will give you the answer. Koshki, good morning, beta. What's about the incorrect question asked? What is I say doing? Generally, there are no such incorrect questions are asked. Okay. Or you can see whatever the facts has been given in the question, try to solve the answer. I say take care of whatever with alternative answer you have mentioned. We will take care of all possibility. Okay, not to worry about the same. Okay, don't lose your patience there. Okay, because sometimes it has been observed that due to losing your patience, you may lose unnecessary, spoil your overall paper. Now, how much percentage is allocated to theory? I think I have to check it. I remember, I think somewhere around 20 and 20 and yeah, theory is a 20 and numerical base is 80. Somewhere it be 25, but
25
not
as well.
25 as well. You cannot rely, we cannot say strictly 20, but somewhere 20 to 30 we can say easily. Okay, how to prepare MCQ since answer is not correct, then marks will be 0. Of course, your marks will be 0, beta. Okay, you have to be very sure. That's why I'm saying your conceptual clarity should be very clear. You cannot cram the MCQs. Sir, please suggest how to manage MCQ, which type of contents to study. Now, see, as such, there we cannot. We have some MCQs on our website. Of course, we shall come out with the more MCQs, like in the form of mock test papers, RTPs. Now, see, whenever you see MCQs, I think your conceptual clarity is more important here. If you have a conceptual clarity, then you will not face any problem because you know the concept. Then MCQ is only just testing your, because here the level of knowledge is tested only level of level 2. That is only application, simple application. Most of the generally basic knowledge at the most level 2. Generally advanced questions are not covered in the MCQs. Vibhor is asking, sir, one second. Bhagya Lakshmi, I am. One second. Good morning, sir. What's about the incorrect question is there? If marks will allocate for a difference of rupee 1 to 5 in the amount with the suggested answer. Karishma is asking, Karishma Jetwas, difference of 1 to 5. Student, it depends. 1 to 5 rupee if the question is on the security valuation. Okay. Now, if your answer is coming 21, okay, and suggested answer is saying 25, it is a lot of difference. Okay. However, if you are solving the capital budgeting questions, okay, then our question is saying, our answer is saying 1 crore 56 lakh, okay, 75,989. Okay, your first almost same figures are there. Only in the last figure, our answer is 89. Instead of that, your answer is coming 95. Then there will be no problem. Because in such a huge amount, 1 to 5 does not matter. But in security, it matters a lot. Okay, you see the percentage. Okay, so that's a rounding off. Of course, it is permissible, it is permitted. But see, it is very important that you have to see the difference does not hamper your decision making power. Okay, I think content of the how to manage MCQ, which type of content a good attempt. Does solving ICI study material questions RTP questions enough for giving a good attempt? Of course, beta, these are the very mock tests, etc. are this, but my request to you, don't cram the questions. Always understand the concept. Because in earlier scheme of SFM, we have observed, like in last 2 to 3 examinations, of course, questions were adopted from study material, but they have been twisted, they have been framed, they have been reframed. So they are testing your conceptual knowledge. So my request to you, of course, it is a well, because you got 100,000 questions you are doing it immaterial, but whatever covers in the study material, RTP, mock tests, and other ICAI publication that is available on ICAI, you can refer the same, but understand the concept behind each and every question. Can we rounding off as our judgment if not mentioned in the question up to 3 to 4 digit? Yes, up to 3 to 4 digit decimal point is valid if nothing has been mentioned. Does solving ICS study material, please suggest how to manage MCQs? Okay, then how to manage allocated theories, how to prepare MCQs. This will there be a case scenario only or direct question in theory or mix of both? Student Namarta, beta, I can't answer this because of course case scenario MCQs will be there, or it may be straightforward, but more chances are that it will be case scenario based. Somona, sir, can we have your contact? Of course, I will share my contact number in the end. Don't worry. Dikshita Singh, good morning, sir. Good morning, madam. What will be the pattern of MCQ in the exam? Is the same as MTP? Yes, it is the same. And in our next BOS at success session, I will discuss the question paper. Don't worry. Karuk is saying, sir, is in the theory rectification is required, or can we write in our own? See, of course, there is no rectification word is there. You have to memorize some words, no problem. But my request to you, please always remember, you should have some keywords. Okay, just keywords keep in your mind. You can explain in your word. Okay, like just I give you a very simple example. Like if I talk to you about the difference between forward and future, okay, both appears to be same, but there is one or two different key differences that, and these are required in your own language, or I say study material language, hardly matters. One is counterparty, there is no counterparty risk. Okay, then there is another is these are cash settled. Okay, because actual delivery may not take place. Okay, and sometime it may be we can say like it is routed through the exchange mechanism. So these are some key points. Once these key points are covered in your answer, you won't lose any marks. Okay, now next is discounting factor का decimal point round off कितने Somona, very good question, beta. So far as the rounding off answer point might at least take 3 decimal point in PV factor if nothing has been given. If any PV factor has been mentioned you in the question, please do follow religiously. Okay, religiously you follow the same. Don't say round less or more. Whatever has been given, you follow the same. Okay, if nothing has been mentioned, so my request to you at least 3 decimal point is good one. MCQ can be practical and theory also. Yes, both as well. Rasha Harish is saying, sir, good morning, sir. Class in the BOS portal are very useful. Thank you. Thank you. Please do refer the same. If you have any query, please do contact to us. Sir, when do will the mock test series part 2 will be start in the April month? It will be schedule will be uploaded.
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry, it will be uploaded. I think it is up to from when?
April.
From 1st April.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay, from 1st April. Sumona, discounting of the decimal point, this I will take, just have some patience. Can you discuss the weightage, please discuss the weightage of each chapter? Student, of course, there may be some weightages available on ICAI website.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, but my request to you, please don't skip any topic. Okay, please don't skip any topic because all topics are equally important. Because as I told you, each question has its sub parts, and in this process, if you skip any topic, it may be possible you know two topics, but you may not attempt the third topic, then unnecessary you will lose the marks. How many MCQ will be asked in the each and it will be of 2 marks, and 15 MCQ will be asked in the examination. सर जो स्टेप ICAI क्वेश्चन सॉल्यूशन में दिया है उसको फॉलो करना है मस्ट है या फुल नंबर पाने के लिए है? प्रदीप, सी बेटा, योर क्वेश्चन इज वैलिड क्वेश्चन, जस्ट 2 minutes ओनली. सी Pradeep, always remember one thing. Of course, we have a given study material, the solutions. Okay, now if you see solutions, they are backed by working notes, and working notes are reasonable working notes. Okay, means you not to show 2 plus 2 is equal to 1. 2 is equal to plus 2 is equal to 4. You not to mention this much. This much of working notes are required. Reasonable working notes are required to only understand how you have reached to a figure. So we have given the solution. Presentation can be of your, it may be different little, it hardly matters, because steps are marking are attached to the steps, and these steps are mainly for some computations. Okay, so generally for computation, but you have to show how to you have reached up to the computation. It may be possible that in the study material you have taken the first step, then it may be possible that the second step you are shown as the first step. It hardly matters. Okay, your presentation almost will be similar. There will be no different. Even you do at your own, try at your own. Okay, because I remember that I was when in way back around say 30, I think somewhere around in 30 year back when I was doing my CA. In November 94, there was one question of a costing paper used to be there. So when in May 95, I was taking my exam. So in those days, suggested answers were available at ICAI, but sometime due to paucity of time, we are not to have the same very early. So I think it just 15 days before examination, I got the suggested answer of November 94. I still remember there was one question. Okay, I read the question, and I don't know what happened to me. I just draw their answer by drawing a diagram at my own. There was nothing requirement in the question that you draw the diagram. I just draw a diagram to get the answer. My answer came. When I checked the answer with the suggested answer, I found my answer is almost same presentation. So don't worry about the same. If you are referring study material, then you and ICAI will be on the same page. Nilesh, thank you. Shakid, Sheikh Javid Jamir is asking, sir, what is the significance of theory portion in AFM from this attempt? Very time. I'm repeating again and again, better because this time MCQs are also there. Okay, MCQs are there. They can also be asked in the theory. MCQ. Okay, and so it is very important that theories are there. So please be prepared for the same. And assumptions. Now Roshni is asking. Yeah, थोड़ा AC को देखना जरा. AC का टर्म देखिए. Roshni is asking, assumptions are written at the beginning of the answer or at the. Roshni, please note that. As such, there is no rule that you require to write any assumption. Okay. As such, there is no rule that you need to write any assumption, because whenever alternative solutions are given, they are by default. You not to write that I am, because sometimes what happens, see, assumption scope rises in case if there is a confusion or there is a misinformation or there is a less information. However, if everything is clear in the question, then you cannot write the answer by assuming anything at your own. For example, if in the question it has been clearly mentioned dividend expected 5 rupees. Okay, Now, when it is mentioned, it is 5 rupee dividend expected. Of course, it is a D1. Now, in that case, if you say that I am assuming it is a D0, then it will not be a correct approach. Okay. So whenever there is any alternative answer is there, you not to mention any assumption. Of course, it is always presumed. Okay. So you not to mention any assumption. Okay. You just write the alternative answer. You will award the marks. सर, क्या हम लोग सेकंड मॉक टेस्ट ऐसे ब्रांच में जाके राइट कर सकते हैं प्रदीप? आई थिंक जी प्रदीप, दिस मैटर यू चेक विद द ब्रांच, रिस्पेक्टिव ब्रांच. ऑफ कोर्स देयर आर एज यूजुअल, इट इज जस्ट लाइक फर्स्ट मॉक टेस्ट, but still you check with the branch or just you send the mail to BOS. And weightage also applicable to MCQ. Yes, beta, it will be MCQ, but don't try to frame the question paper at your own. I am Nilesh Sharma, CFR doing appearing first group in Milan and appearing second group this. Okay, Nilesh, thank you. Welcome, beta. Sumona, sir, for the final answer on any topic, shall we give absolute answer or 2 decimal point? See, beta, up to final answer or any topic shall be given absolute or see, as I told you, when we are talking about the crores, so then write absolute figures. Okay, of course, when we are writing about the security valuation, option valuation, then of course up to 2 decimal points you are expected to write. Unless and until nothing has been mentioned. If anything has been mentioned in the question, you follow the instruction. Then you have no choice. Didesh is saying, sir, can we mention in the beginning as we take 4 decimal? You not to mention like these things. Okay, but your answer is well enough to speak all about the same. Sir, can you give some presentation tip in the answer sheet? See, for the tip, please you attend our next session. Okay, in the next session, BOS at Success, there will be another session where I will share with you complete tips session, because this will be today's session. I will be just syllabus oriented. In the next session will be your examination oriented. फिरोती, इस बारी का आरटीपी एमटीपी करना है बेटा, बहुत अच्छी तरह करना है. ओके, एमटीपी में मैं आप व्हाट आई से टू द स्टूडेंट्स, एमटीपी जब आप करते हैं बेटा, मैं आई एम जस्ट स्पीकिंग इन हिंदी जस्ट फॉर वन सेंटेंस बिकॉज क्वेश्चन आ सकते. आप एमटीपी करते हैं तो मेरी सजेशन ये है, आप एक बार एमटीपी को देखिए मत. ओके, आप एमटीपी को एक बार देखिए मत, उसको आप एग्जामिनेशन लाइक कंडीशन में कीजिएगा. जब आपका कोर्स पूरा हो जाता है, लगभग कोर्स पूरा हुआ होता है, आप उस पेपर को 3 घंटे एग्जामिनेशन लाइक कंडीशन में कीजिएगा और बाद में अपने आप को असेस कीजिएगा. डोंट लूज हार्ट अगर आपके मार्क्स कम आते हैं या कुछ गलतियां होती हैं, क्योंकि वो आपने गलतियां यहीं पर सुधार लोगे. ओके स्टूडेंट, आई एम जस्ट अगेन स्पीकिंग इन इंग्लिश. व्हाट आई सी स्टूडेंट, इट इज ऑलवेज एडवाइजेबल नॉट टू लुक एट द MCQ बिफोर MTP just before you are just before for the sake of knowledge only. You just attempt it in an examination like condition, because then you will get the real benefit, because here if there is any mistake you can improve this mistake here. In the main examination there is no scope. So my request to you, just attempt the MTP in a examination like condition. On which month I prepare for self-paced module for sitting in second group? Beta Nilesh, I can not answer at this moment because I have to check, or you can contact me. Sir, in the descriptive question, that is 70 marks, how many marks we can expect from theory part? See, each and every student is asking examination pattern. See student, if you are well versed with the syllabus, then nothing will matter. I am saying 20 theory, 80 practical, or 25 something I prefer. So it can be a mix. It can be your, of course, there will be some descriptive question in theory, but some theory can also be tested in your MCQs also. We cannot be give you any something guarantee, etc. But examination, broad guidelines may be there, but in the adjustment, inter adjustment, we cannot give, we come out not out very, what exactly will the format? It is quite difficult for us to. श्रुति ओल्ड स्कीम के आरटीपी बीएस नॉलेज पोर्टल पे अब नहीं है, मीन्स सर पास्ट एग्जाम के कितने आरटीपी करने हैं या पास्ट एग्जाम के पोर्टल पे नहीं है तो टाइम नहीं, न्यू स्कीम और आरटीपी इज ओनली टू बी डन। सी स्टूडेंट, of course there may not be RTPs of the old scheme, but more or less all the questions have been covered in our study mat. Now we have come out with our BOS classes. In these classes, we have most tried to take more and more question in addition to your study material. Okay. So my request to you, please also refer the same. Try to attend the same. Yes. Bhagya Lakshmi, you were asking, beta, can we start with the working notes, then write the main answer? Of course, you can start with the working note, then you come to the main answer. It hardly matters because ultimately it's showing the basis of there is no fit pattern. Sometimes it may be possible that working note may be in the beginning, main answer in the end, main answer in the beginning, working note, because it will be on, because they will be evaluated. Working notes will be evaluated and the total will be calculated as a you will be awarded total marks. Then it's saying, sir, good morning. Which chapters need to focus for theory in FM? All the chapters for a theory need to be focused. I won't say this you have too much because I have came to know that some coaching wala pupils are coming out with booklet. This is my booklet. This is theory booklet. My advice to you, please don't do like this. Please cover each and every topic thoroughly. Make your own notes. Don't go by any ready-made notes. Make your own notes because they are as per your mindset, because it is a you that have to take, or we have to you have to handle the situation one day before examination. Okay, because Manish may have a different mindset, my our preparation may be totally different. Of course we are handling the paper same, but still our sometime our in some question we have a different approach. Can we write in PCAD sequence? Harshad, you are saying, sir, of course you can write B and CD in sequence. Sequence can be changed, but I'm not 100% sure in this because please go by the instructions. What have been instructions given you on the answer book? Okay, but I think now the examination department are strict, is strict in this matter. They you expect you to write in a order only. Okay, but of course, if it has been done, then of course they will not cross it. But please check the instructions clearly at examination answer books. Okay,
May I
yeah,
interrupt, sir?
please add.
So, dear students, what you can do here means if there is question number 1, A, B, C, and the question is right, can we answer it in a way that first we will solve question number 1C, then 1B, then 1A. You can do this, but don't do like this, that question number 1A, then 2A, and again question number 1B. Don't do this in this pattern, but means what I mean to say is when you select one question, do all the subsections, subparts together. Yes, I hope your query is resolved.
I think the best person in this matter is Manish because you have qualified in
Right now, May 23.
May 23. Okay, so he is the correct person because I'm a bit, I'm quite old. Not, I'm not say quite old. I am young still by the heart. But in this matter, Manish is the best person to guide you. Okay. Okay, thank you, Manish, for your guidance to a student. Now, Bhagya Lakshan is a theory. Manisha is asking the theory part is essential to understand the concept and prepare us to handle the real life application. Yes, Manisha, you are correct, beta. Amish Chauhan, sir, can we take rough paper in examination for calculation? No, beta, no.
No,
Not at all.
not allowed.
Not allowed. Not allowed. Please do rough calculation in the sheet itself. My advice to you, I give you one advice, and I think it is practically happen. In the last page of the answer book, just write on the top rough work.
Yes.
Okay, even one page before you write the rough work. Do whatever rough calculation you can do, because once you have written on the top rough work, it will not be evaluated at all. Okay, but it should be written on prominently. If you have not written prominently, then it may create a confusion. But my request to you, and you not to cross in the end, etc. But just write rough work. Okay, beta. Roshni is saying thank you, beta. Thank you. With saying why examiner deduct the marks for rounding off. I think maybe any instructions if given is not followed, then only given. Sir, can we have your email ID? Jitesh, yes, beta, we will share each and everything. Have some patience. Sir, can you, 1 second. Sir, can you explain tokenization and blockchain in brief? I will try to cover up it. Okay, just have this patience. Amok Joshi, November 23 exam में forex का question में call premium was given in percentage and in almost question from model premium was given in number percentage of interest rate. In the other question is analyzed. So I assumed it analyzed in the session answer. It is solved as if it is given in the period. How can we assume number is analyzed or because it is November and nothing has been mentioned? Amog, right now, since November 23 suggested answer is not before me, and whatever you are writing, let me have to check because right now I cannot comment very strongly on the same. Koshke Sindhwani, you can contact me for this different later on over the telephone. Just note down the number.
Amok Joshi, right?
Amok Joshi, WR, note it down in this number. Okay. Amok, we will contact you, better don't worry. Koshki, sorry बेटा. प्लीज सर आप आईसीआई की रिस्पेक्टिव फैकल्टी अथॉरिटी को इन्फॉर्म करिएगा कि मॉक टेस्ट पेपर के रिगार्डिंग अनाउंसमेंट निकालते ही उसमें ब्रांच को के कनेक्टेड पर्सन का नंबर एंड ईमेल अपडेट नहीं नहीं है. वो बोलते हैं मैं जॉब लेफ्ट कर चुका हूँ एक एक ईयर पहले. मैनी टाइम्स मेल रिटर्न किया बट कोई मेरा हेल्प नहीं किया. ओके ओके जस्ट we write down. Pradeep, we will contact you or we will share my number. Okay. You just send me the mail to us. Okay, I will just forward you the concerned department there because there is a concerned department who is taking care of it.
050.
No problem. Just 0. Okay, we will take care of it, beta. Just
The official directory is in updation process.
No problem, but they are asking that कि जो ब्रांच में होगा ना उनका नंबर चाहिए होता है कांटेक्ट करने के लिए.
Okay.
उसमें इशू आ रहा है वो उनको मिस्टर को बोल देंगे. We will contact. हाँ. एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन स्टडी मैथ से ही पूछे जाएंगे सर. It will be based on study material only. But first of all, let me tell you one thing very frankly. I am not a paper setter. Okay. Someone in the market may have posed that बोर्ड वाले पेपर सेटर हैं ये है वो है बट आई वांट टू क्लियर वी आर नॉट अ पेपर सेटर. ओके एग्जामिनेशन डिपार्टमेंट इज टोटली सेपरेट. वी आर टोटली सेपरेट. ओके वी आर guiding you. Okay, they are testing you. Okay, so we cannot say of course study material is basis of setting up the question papers. See, paper setters, I just share you one thing. Paper setters are given with study material. Of course, ICAI material is there. And along with that, they are given syllabus. Syllabus is a broad framework. Okay, now I just tell you very simple example. In a derivative, the strategies are there. Like there are derivative strategies, straddle. Okay, straddle, butterfly. These are some strategies are there. Okay, but in our syllabus, these are not there. And they are not even covered in our study material at all. So paper setter will not ask any question from these studies. Of course, they can ask you are writing one call option, buying one put option. This strategy they are mentioning, there is not a problem. But they cannot name this strategy like straddle, vagara. They cannot generally avoid to use. Okay, because these strategies are not. So there is a preview of the syllabus within the question papers are set. Now, of course, they can take the questions, adopt the question. See, there is a difference between adoption. Adoption means they can change the question. They can value change. They change the values, or they can change twist the question. Okay, best example I quote you in earlier scheme, earlier scheme and an old scheme. When the first examination take place in May 2018, one question from the practice manual or practice manual or you can say study material, there was one question where of a mutual fund where the respective effective yield is required to be calculated from the three mutual fund scheme. Now, what the paper setter has done, they have given the effective yield, and he is supposed the question was that you are supposed to calculate the number of days of investment. Okay, this may be the possibility. Okay, so everything can be possible. Wait 1 second. Sumit, you are saying, sir, in November I scored less even after taking base course. What should the strategy? See, Sumit, if you have any issue, so my request to you, please do contact us over the telephone. Okay, and my request to you, you just have a telephonic talk with us. We will do something, and because sometimes there may be some problem in your strategy, we will also discuss the strategy with you. So please, my request to you, I will share my number. Please do contact with me. Okay, because most of the students have scored good marks, those who have attended the classes. That's why only you are the first only student saying, but those who have students, they have responded very well. But what's about the ambiguous question recently wrong checking done by? See, I cannot comment on the checking because ambiguity is there that I told you D0, D1 only. This type of ambiguity may be there, but hardly any ambiguity may be find in any examination, previous 2 or 3 examination. Generally, most of the things are correct. Can we do working notes side by side, or it is to be done at either at starting or ending? Vibhor, side by side working notes is not
No.
feasible. Not a good idea, not a very feasible idea, and even I will not suggest because whatever you write left, see there are lines are there, columns. Now, if you are doing working in this here, it will not be evaluated at all. What is you writing on the right hand side of this line, it will not be evaluated at all. What is in between, that is evaluated at mainly evaluated. So once you cross the boundaries of these two lines, no evaluation will be taken unless you will lose the marks.
Do the working either at the beginning or at the end, but not sideways.
Sir, so should we practice old practice manner or will it be necessary? I want score maximum marks in, please guide. Vara Gunun Sarvanan. See, regarding old practice manual, see, it is very old now. Okay. And my request to you, of course, we have observed that we have tried to transport the maximum question from practice manual to our study material. Like in our previous scheme, it was SFM. Here, the scheme is AFM. So we have tried, and practice manual was even before for this scheme. So from previous to previous scheme, we have transported some almost all questions here. Then from this scheme to AFM, okay, exported all the questions. Now it may be possible some questions maybe have left, but we have tried to cover in our classes. We have tried to cover this by in an assignment. We have tried to cover questions. Moreover, it may also be possible that some questions answers may be relevant at that time, keeping the scenario circumstances at the time. Now their circumstances may be changed. So I cannot say surely, but my advice to you, please do refer ICAI publication and class notes of ICAI BoS studies, BoS our classes. Please do refer the note because we have tried to cover as much as questions in these classes. So I think then there will be no need to you refer your old practice manual. Sir, there are only 4 case scenarios based question available in ICAI BoS app. Yes, we are coming out with the more. Okay, but you can refer our RTP mock test. There are more case scenarios. Okay, of course we will come out with the more. Rounding off rule. It is not a rule beta, but I will give you some tips or you can say guidelines, some kind of a thing. Sir, in description there can be a case scenario. In a descriptive questions, not such we can say that. Case scenario generally are context of the MCQs. But suppose if examiner wants to test your knowledge by presenting a case scenario, then I cannot challenge him because case scenario, but chances are least, but he can test it. Generally, case scenario is meant for the MCQs only. Oh, Manish, there is one question to guide us. You get the rank in examination.
Okay.
Okay, so don't worry, I will also guide. I can also guide. Manish is there, but I can also guide. Sir, can you share contact number of the faculty of auditing for the paper 3 also? Yes, we will share the contact number. Don't worry. Aman, can you contact me also at? Okay, Aman, we will contact you. Don't worry, Bindu ji. So good morning. Thank you for the session. My question is, will there be any extra question or will all the question will be compulsory? Please refer the mock test. Okay. I think in MCQ there is no choice. MCQ you have to attempt whatever has been given. Okay, na? That's it. But in a descriptive, first is compulsory. Then out of remaining, you have to attempt 4. Okay, so each question is carrying 14 marks. So 14 marks into 5, that is first is compulsory, then remaining 4 you have your choice. One question is in your choice. सर आप श्रुति आप पेपर सेटर बन जाओ यू टीच सो वेल बेटा if I will be paper setter then I can't teach it is the first requirement okay Hmm. Uthara B, sir, if nothing is mentioned in the question while doing calculation related to time period, whether to consider month-wise, days-wise calculation. Nothing has been mentioned in the question. See, if nothing has been mentioned, like in the question, sometimes the question may be like in case of forex or money market instruments, generally this problem rises. There of course, because generally forward futures, they are the period of valuation or where the period of our overall calculation does not exceed 1 year. So there, this problem arises. In that case, what happens? See, if question is mentioned, the 3 month is there, like 3 word mention has been there, and nothing has been mentioned mention about the number of days to be considered in a year. So in that case, you can go by the month calculation. But generally, in questions like mutual fund, especially in mutual fund, days are very important. Okay, because here the generally calculations are carried out in the days. Similarly, in case of interest rate risk management, days are especially in case of swap, generic swap. So there generally in that case the interest because for 1 to 2 days it matters a lot. Repo, money market instruments, they are the because here generally the transaction period or generally overall the instrument period is less than a year. So days here matters a lot. But generally, if month has been mentioned and days like assume the days 360 or 369 a year, then it gives you the indication that you have to consider the days. Like question in capital budgeting, bond valuation, generally there the days are generally months are considered, even years are considered. Okay, working side by side. Okay, I will do better working, but first of all, I will let me come out with the queries so that I can start my section. Arshad is asking, sir, how to gain conceptual knowledge in the chapter of mutual fund? Every time a new question comes in the previous attempts. As I told you, just have a conceptual clarity. Okay, just develop conceptual clarity. You won't face any problem. Sir, yesterday BS advised me to write working notes side by side. Okay, let me check. I will have to check better because I have not seen assignment. But what I am saying you with because they may not be understood what you mean by side. But let me. This is from my experience. But my advice to you just write in between. Yeah, yesterday can use working side by side. Okay, let me check. Before your answer, but let me check. Please share your company my company. Beta, it is not a company. Okay, first of all, Raghav, we are not a company. We are a regulator. Okay, we are regulator. Okay, so we are not a company. Private is ICAI is not a private company. Okay, not a public limited company. We are not floated our shares. Okay, so we are not a company. We are regulator. Of course, I will share my number. Don't worry. Sir, how many hours to study for a first group CA final? Beta, it is up to you only. We cannot, every person has their. Manish, for how many hours you used to study?
Generally 8 to 10 hours a day.
You can read this much, study in this much.
Yeah.
But I cannot study this much. Okay. I cannot study this much. Generally, I used to have of course, in my training time, I used to study only hardly 3 to 4 hours in during my study time, reading training time. Of course, when I used to take the leave, then this can be stretched up to 12 to 14 hours.
No, sir, after the training, I said after the
After the training. Okay. Then you are more intelligent than me, I think.
Oh, no, sir.
So hardworking then. Okay, so see, it is up to you only, but
Yeah.
you have to see up to what level of satisfaction you are prepared yourself for the examination. Okay, some student may have a capacity, some student have a very sharp brain.
Yes, obviously.
Okay, but everyone has their own characteristic. Everyone has their own mindset. So every person is unique. So we cannot generalize anything. Okay.
And I think number of hours alone cannot decide this thing. Yes.
Sir, FR faculty told us that there will be maximum 15 question in MCQ. Yes, same. MCQs, I have told you in the beginning, and there will be 15 MCQs of 2 marks each. डियर सर, क्वेश्चन करते समय फार्मूला राइट करना नेसेसरी है या डायरेक्ट फिगर लेके क्वेश्चन कर दिया जैसे गॉर्डन मॉडल? Student, you can write the formula generally. Like in case of a black schools model, my request to you, there you mention the formula. But like in case of a valuation, etc., D1 growth model, these are some kind of a normal formulas. You can simply write the values. Okay, not a problem. Generally, because it depends on allocation of marks to the formula. But from my previous experience, I have observed that generally, like where the special formulas are there, like black schools model, etc., there only there the marks are awarded allotted to this step. Generally, the straightforward the value computation of the value has been awarded allotted the marks. Shruti saying, sir, like in a class assignment, questions is shared. Is it possible we can get theory notes in short form or brief? But there is no short form or theory and brief, as I told you. Please prepare your own notes. Okay, because I just explain you one thing. Now, suppose there is a theoretical question. As per my view, in a one point, this line is very important. Maybe as per his views, another line may be very important. And as per your view, then there is a third line very important. That will give you help to keep your this concept in mind. So both all of three have a different perception. I cannot superimpose my perception on every student. Okay, that's why my advice to you, please do refer the same and prepare your own notes. It is not a very a long task. You can do it very easily. AFM theory better we told you in the 20% to 30%. Okay. ये लगा Vignesh. Sir, will the CA exam postpone? I was not able to study SFM. Beta, it's not in my hand. You please see the announcement that will come out. I cannot comment on the same. Okay, this will as per the announcement. Okay, student. I think Tejaswini Sao is asking, sir, can the method of solving the question be different in the main examination if the ultimate answer is same? Yes, it can be the different. There is no, we cannot say that the answer should be as per our suggested answer. However, the approach should be somewhere that is very the approach should be like that, that is acceptable, that you can say it is a based on a conceptual concept. Okay, now suppose I remember there was a one question in our old to old examination. So there was a concept of real option where that we have to draw a binomial tree, and from binomial tree the probability value has to become 0.50. Okay, but some student have assumed that their own the 50% probability. Of course the answer is correct, but the approach was incorrect because you are not supposed to assume. You have to apply the delta hedging approach. So that is required. Okay, so your approach should be as per the concept. Then there will be no problem. You could do that way, that hardly matters. Let me check any question left. Then I will start working. Rounding off. Okay, beta, I don't worry. Have some patience for rounding off. Can BOS provide saransh for all the formulas and basic theories? Beta, see what happens. In SFM, if I ask you, there are hardly any formulas. Okay, just everything is, well, of course, there are formulas like del X plus model or minimum portfolio, minimum risk portfolio or minimum. But there are two or three formulas hardly there. Otherwise, all things are simple logic, and simple logics are there. And even in our classes, we never promote any student to cram the formula. Because say if I talk about you the foreign exchange, simple logic, the bank will buy at a lower rate and will sell you at a higher rate. Now what the formula I can draw out from this here? Okay, for the cross rate, even you follow the present, just you follow a trail. Yeah, I will buy this currency in foreign country, then what will be the cost? Then if I sell the same currency here, then what will be the I will get? All these are logic based. Okay, so there is no, of course, Saransh, we will try to come out, but of course, we have a capsule there. Okay, you can refer our capsules.
Yeah.
Okay, for this. Rounding of answer, sir. Chintan Bajaj is asking, sir, dear sir, in November, binomial model probability came to say 0.6, so it was rounded off to 0.64 as per session, whereas those took the value were given 0. How can we tackle this situation? One sec. Rounding off, here you're asking, let me check better because I cannot comment on this. Given 0 and why they haven't given 0, I cannot comment because it's examination matter. MCQ can be asked with respect to the MCQ can be asked from what is theory, what is there on the MCQ portal. It will be based on the same. See, beta, as I same thing. What will be come in the examination, I cannot say. Okay, whatever given in the portal or app is only for the reference, or you can practicing it. The question will come from there. I cannot guarantee it. Rounding off, no problem. I'm just will taking Amish Chauhan. So do we have to draw the? I think it you is the person better. Sir, do we have to draw tables with pencil for tabular format?
Question are not necessary because it takes a long. No, not required to draw a table with pencil. Means you can draw it by pen itself also. The marks is not allotted for drawing the table by pencil or pen. So just focus on solving your questions correctly, and that table requirement, it is not required to do it by pencil itself.
And even some table wrongly drawn, you just cross the same, then come down. No problem. Okay, it will not matter. It will not impact your marking. Vignesh is asking assumption regarding rounding of. I will take them. Pradeep is asking, sir, 3 टाइम्स रिवीजन का क्या लॉजिक है? एवरीवेयर सब लोग 3 टाइम रिवीजन के लिए बोलते हैं। आपका क्या व्यू है सर? 1 डे बिफोर एग्जामिनेशन यूट्यूब रिवीजन अटेंड करना चाहिए? बेटा, अभी नाउ वी विल कम आउट विद आवर सेकंड सेशन ऑफ द BOS at Success. There I will mention you basically, of course, 3 times, not as a revision. Generally, what happens? First, first time when you do the course, you have a lot of time with you. Generally, once you come make first revision, the time is allotted only 5 to 6 days only, hardly 5 or maximum 1 week. Then the time comes 1 day before examination. So I have a full-fledged strategy. I have drawn out a strategy that I will discuss in my next BOS session, BOS at Success session. There I will show how we have to prepare our strategy. But my request to you, at least first time your preparation, then one revision before examination, and one revision day before examination. Of course, is required. There is no substitute for the same. Am I right? Because
Yes,
you are
sir.
the latest
Yes,
one.
sir. Yes.
Again, theory question asked in FM. Okay, in Forex question, you could actually use how to tackle. Okay, Vignesh, I will tell you this how to tackle this situation. Sir, case scenario will be based on theory. But the same questions I have a rounding off. Okay, what will be the paper pattern and weightage for the each chapter? Weightage for the each chapter cannot be decided. It is a section wise weightage. Okay, student. Now let us come to the session. Success for this session. Now I am just while I going through the presentation. Now, student, I am just quickly going through the syllabus. Okay, what is in our syllabus? So we shall see what topics are covered in our syllabus. No, just sit down. Okay, students. So let us see what are our topics are covered, how we have to prepare. Now, chapter 1 comes with the advanced. Now, here, see, when we talk about this AFM, of course, this is you can say it is the latest version of our SFM paper that was in earlier scheme. However, except very small deletion, majorly there are addition in this scheme. Okay, so whatever we have covered earlier, this is the same. Now, I will also draw your attention to the additions that we have made. Now, in this chapter, there is newly added chapter advanced role of CFOs, including the value creation. Now, student, please note that, of course, and there are like decisions are strategic decision making. It was earlier interface of financial policy and strategy. It was earlier balancing versus of financial goal and sustainable. It was earlier. Now, when we talk about this value creation advanced role, now post pandemic, the role of the CFOs has increased multifold. Okay, now one of the very important role they have assumed is risk management, because post pandemic, which is called black swan event, that really happens. Okay, the importance of the risk management has increased multifold, and even after that, the importance of the cyber risk has increased multifold, because overall all the public has come on the Zoom meeting, cyber, internet, etc. Okay, then there comes supply chain management. Okay, it is also post pandemic. Okay, then there is merger acquisitions and corporate restructuring, because like recently we have seen in the financial newspaper the news of the G Cinema and Sony Entertainment. Okay, then very important another concept is coming is ESG, environmental, social, and governance. This is a new concept, but it is gaining probability now, gaining popularity nowadays, and even especially European countries are uh, very particular about this concept. Okay, then there are strategies are there, of course. Then one more important concept that is covered in chapter 1 is sustainable growth rate. Sustainable growth rate means the rate we have to maintain. It is a rate that generally maintained, or we can say that is continue. The company should continue to maintain it, because too much, too high growth, too fast growth is also not good. Too slow growth is not. So this is a simple growth that company need to mention. Okay. Now then we come to the next topic, chapter number 2, the risk management. So basically this chapter was earlier also, and almost there is no change in this topic, but the main purpose of this risk management topic is basically to and you can say to make aware the students about the various financial risks that are faced by an organization. Of course, risk management is a wide spectrum. Okay, ERM, COSO framework are there, but here we are not concerned with that much because there are separate papers for the same. Here we are basically purpose because wire is generally used for the financial risk. Okay, so here our main insistence on the same financial risk, and if we say generally three financial risks: currency, okay, interest rate, and portfolio. So hedging of these risks has been covered in our later on chapters. Okay, this has been covered in later on chapters, because there we have discussed. Of course, there are liquidity risk, other risks are there, but generally these have been covered in our later chapters. Then we come to the next topic, advanced capital budgeting. Earlier this was in intermediate, now this time it has been shifted to the advanced financial management. Okay, now it is includes current trend in the capital budgeting, because impact of inflation and capital budgeting decision important. Change in technology is very important, because if we see student, I tell you very important reason for the same. Earlier when we traditional capital budgeting, एक मिनट, ये टेम्परेचर कितना है इसी का? 25, 26 का तो ठंड लग रहा है. Now earlier there was capital budgeting decision, traditional capital budgeting decision. Generally, our gestation, generally period maybe say 5 to 10 years, even some questions. I remember when we used to solve the question, we used to say the 5 to 10 years also. Yeah. But with the advancement of technologies, and as the technology become obsolete very quickly, it may be possible that our horizon of the capital budgeting decision may not be that much, because technological advances are so fast that one machinery, one system we have purchased today may be outdated after 3 to 4 years only. Okay, that is very important. Even in the our home also we see that our laptops are generally become very outdated very soon. Then it comes the impact of change in government policies. Okay, then dealing with the risk in the investment decision. When we talk about the dealing with the risk in decision, there are I will tell you how we deal with the risk. Just a second. Okay, generally there are statistical techniques. Screen आ रही है? Okay, generally for this we use the probability analysis. Okay, then we use the variance or the standard deviation, then coefficient of variation. Okay, conventional techniques are risk adjusted discount rate, CE coefficient. Okay, then other techniques are sensitivity analysis, scenario analysis, then simulation, then decision tree. Then another topic comes. 1 second. Method of incorporating risk we have discussed. Then adjusted present value and optimum replacement cycle. Just I discussed with you. Now, what is adjusted present value? Generally, this is concerned with present value of tax benefit on the interest, because it may be possible that the financial risk of the new project may not be the same as our existing business. Then we come replacement topic. This replacement can be existing machine, or it can be optimum replacement cycle. After how much time period we should replace the asset, because with the passage of time, its depreciation value, its salvage value comes down. Okay, its salvage value come down, and the repair maintenance costs also increase. So we have to draw out somewhere the trade-off between these two. Okay, then we come to the chapter number 4. This topic is concerned with the fundamental analysis. When we talk about the fundamental analysis, it covers our EIC analysis. Okay, EIC analysis means economy, industry, and company analysis. Okay, these covers are there. When we talk about the technical analysis, here in a technical analysis, there are some theories have been included, like Dow Jones theory, Elliott wave theory, okay, random walk theory. See, when we talk about the security analysis, when we talk about fundamental analysis and technical analysis, fundamental analysis are always on a considered the long term meant for the long term investment, whereas the technical analysis meant for the short term investment. They are normally by the investor is not concerned with the fundamentals of a company, rather he is more interested in the you can say nut bolts of the market, nitty-gritties of the market. He earns or she earns by the market speculation, not by the fundamentals of the company. Okay, student. Now, accordingly, there are some charting techniques are included. Okay, there are some charting techniques are including, like support and resistance level. Okay, descent. So there are some charts, but please remember these are charts are not of that advanced level. Of course, technical analysis, but here we have simple, very brief or very basic. We have been provided a charting techniques. Then there is one very important theory, EMH, efficient market hypothesis theory. Now this is very important because there are three forms: strong, semi-strong, and weak form. Okay, so this theory says that how quickly the company react with the information, how the share prices of any security react with any information or happening is indicated by this efficient market hypothesis. Then there are new concept has been come out with the equity research tool available, because nowadays equity research a field is in itself. So equity research tools are available, but that all are covered here. Then we are coming to the next topic, security valuation. Okay, of course, basics are there. Then equity research pyramid, required return on equity there. Then discount rate selection. So these are some theoretical topics. After that, main topic comes approach to the equity valuation. Okay, when we talk about the approach to the equity shares, now here generally three types of approaches have been covered. One is dividend based models. Then earning based models. Then it is a free cash flow models. Nowadays, are more companies are concerned with. Okay, what are our free cash? What is cash available? So this can further be subdivided divided into two: free cash flow to the firm, free cash flow to the equity. Sorry. Mm. Okay, free cash flow to the firm. So covered here. Okay, then it comes the concept of valuation of preference share. Very basic. Because generally these are valuation now preference shares are not that much popular. So generally their valuation has not also become very less important. Now, very important as concept is valuation of bonds. Okay. Because from this concept, because other there are some concept related to it like price yield relationship. Okay, this is also covered here because price and yield have a negative relationship, inverse relationship. Okay, then there is a duration of bonds is there because dura- modified duration is also there concept macro duration then modified duration because see when we talk about the volatility it is volatility is not only is attached with the equity, it is also attached with the bond as well as fixed income securities, and accordingly it is a duration of a bond or modified duration of a bonds that is used for the purpose to test the or check the volatility of the fixed instruments. And then it the concept of yield curve. Okay, yield curve determines the YTM. Basically, yield curve means YTM. What is YTM is going on the market? Okay, for this there are some theories. Okay, that these concepts are called term structure theory. Okay, term structure theory basically means there are three. You can say upward yield, upward rising curve, downward curve. Okay, flat yield curve. Okay, then there is a hump curve. So all these are curves that is are mainly showing the yield with related to the time period. Okay, like in this curve, higher the period expected, higher will be the expected yield from the fixed income securities. Then there is a valuation of warrants. Okay, then there is a bond refunding decision. Of course, this decision is can also be covered in under chapter 1. But in this decision, basically bond refunding decision is not that much relating to bond valuation. Rather, we can say it is a kind of a capital budgeting decision. Okay, then there is after that there are money market instruments. These are short instruments. These are short-term instruments. Their period may be vary from 1 day to 365 days. Maximum one year. Okay, then there is a theoretical topic, role and responsibilities. Okay, then precautions. Precautions need to be taken before accepting any valuation assignment. It is very important. Nowadays, what is happening? See, especially this is happening with the chartered account newly qualified, they generally accept any valuation assignment without any doing any due diligence, and sometimes they may face some penalties also. So all these have been covered here. So this is a new topic here, role and responsibilities of the value. Now, because nowadays the valuation has become a very lucrative field for the newly qualified chartered accountant. You can say it is away from our traditional field, but now it is gaining very much popularity. Now, next we coming to the chapter number, very important chapter. Okay, I think students, everything we have covered here. Now we are coming to the chapter number 6. Now this chapter is quite long chapter, portfolio management. And I think because from this, the practically we can say it is start with the, we talk about the practical dealing with the risk. Because it starts with the portfolio analysis. What we mean by the portfolio? When we talk about the portfolio means more than one security or asset. Okay, portfolio means more than one asset or so when we talk about the portfolio, then what are the objective, what is the introduction, what are the activities in portfolio management, all things are covered. Okay, accordingly there are phases of the portfolio management has been covered there. Then there are portfolio theories, very important. There is a concept of what we call, sorry. Now when we talk about the portfolio theories, so there are two theories. One is traditional approach, traditional theory. Another is modern theory. That is also called Markowitz theory. Okay, when we talk about the traditional approach, as per the traditional approach, they used to say you have to diversify the asset. Okay, just diversify your asset, just diversify asset. It will reduce your risk. Of course, to some extent, this logic is true. But sometimes what happens? Sometimes a investor may take the asset, they may not be that feasible, that may not be fruitful. So contrary to it, the modern portfolio theory has come out where what is the logic? Let us see what the Markowitz says. It says that, say this, as per this theory, it go by don't put all eggs in one basket. Of course, this is a basic fundamental of the any portfolio approach. According to modern portfolio theory approach, Markowitz, they say we should select, first of all, we should take a risk, carry out a risk return trade-off. That is a prerequisite. Okay. If any two securities having a same risk, and the theory, then we should opt, if the two securities are having same risk, but security that is having higher return, that should be opted for. If two securities are there having same return, but one has having less risk, another is having more risk, then we should choose the same. So this is the basis first step. Another very important basis of the modern approach is that we should choose those securities which are negatively correlated. Okay, securities which are negatively correlated. It is very important. We should opt for those securities which are negatively correlated, because once they are negatively correlated, it may possible that if the one in a market is coming down, for one security it is giving the lesser return, the other security may be given high return. So by this, the overall impact null out. Okay, student. Then there is a risk analysis is there. Now, when we talk about the risk analysis, there are two types of risk. One is systematic risk, another is unsystematic risk. Okay, of course, systematic risk cannot be reduced because it will remain in our every decision, because it is related to the market. Whereas unsystematic risk, it is generally divided into two parts. One is your business risk, and another is financial risk. Generally, business risk is related to any particular kind of a business, whereas the financial risk is relating to your capital structure. So generally, in systematic risk can be eliminated or can be wiped out by combining more and more number of securities. That is also presented in our by way of diagram. This is number of securities. Okay, here it is the risk. So we see if we have a lesser number of security, we are having more risk. But as we start increasing the number, our risk is coming down. But what happens up to this, after we increase whatever be the number, this risk will not go down, and this risk is called systematic risk. And this risk is called unsystematic risk. Okay, students. So this concept is also there. Now, generally, what question rise? What are these systematic risks are covered? Generally, this covers your interest rate risk. It is cover market risk, and generally inflation or purchasing power parity risk. So generally, these three risks are covered are under system because it affects each and every security. Okay, then it comes to the diversification we have discussed. Then very important comes how we measure the systematic risk. See, overall risk is measured by standard deviation. Out of this, systematic risk measured by beta. Okay, that is a popular measure. And next question comes, how we measure the beta? There are two approaches. One is correlation method. Another is regression method. Okay, the formulas are respective there. Okay, so you can refer the study material. Now portfolio analysis is there. Okay, now very important when we talk about the portfolio analysis, as I told you, we analyze the relationship. There are three kind of a relationship between the two securities when we talk about the perfectly positive correlation, then our correlation will be +1. Perfectly negative, our correlation will be -1. If independent, then correlation will be 0. Coefficient of correlation. So all these have been given there. Now next is coming very important is Markowitz model that I want to discuss with you. From Markowitz model, there is a term called efficient frontier is there. Okay, this is called market portfolio. Okay, where this is tangent line is risk-free tangent line is there. That is called above this is called borrowing portfolio. And below this is called lending portfolio. This is called RF. And this line here it is, we can say, return. So here please note the student. Here this line is called basically capital market line, CML. Okay. So this concept tells us up to at what level of risk what will be the return. Here at M, the market risk. Above, if you go the market risk, of course, your return will be higher. If you less, then your return will be lower. So this is the basis of the Markowitz theory, and this is the basis of the modern portfolio theory. I will discuss with the tip in the next class, better. Don't worry. Now then it comes the next single index model. 1 second. I have to find a black sheet. This is also called Sharpe index model. This model is basically related to the market index. It says instead we analyze the relationship between the two securities. What is how they are correlated with each other. They say you take the root of index. Okay. Accordingly, they give a formula of computing the overall, according to them, the risk of any security is given by alpha 1, beta 1, RM plus error, random error. Of course, this alpha is basically when the market return is 0, then what will be your the securities return? Okay, then beta is there, then your RM, that is market return is there. And more generally, it is used to calculate the variance of any security, and especially to calculate the systematic risk and unsystematic risk. This formula is majorly used there. Okay, accordingly, the formula here is beta. This is unsystematic risk. Okay, it is total risk. Okay, student. So if from total risk we deduct this systematic risk, this is systematic risk, we get the unsystematic risk. Okay, if we multiply add unsystematic risk with the system, so there are 2 or 3 questions on this concept base in our study material. Then next we come to the concept of CAPM. It is very important. Now it is frequently used because it is let us know, even its use is come in the chapter number 4 also, that is security valuation, because from it is generally used to compute the return of equity, because this concept CAPM is used on the beta, which is the systematic risk, and simple model is RF plus beta into RM minus RF. Okay, now please remember this is market risk premium. Okay, now when I talk about this, when I talk about overall this value, this is called security risk premium. Because here the beta respective beta of the security has been multiplied. Okay, student. Now from this, the security market line concept we can draw. Here we write the beta, here we write the return. Okay, so this is called market return. Okay, student. So all this has been covered. From this, we can come to know our which security is undervalued, which security is overvalued. All these concepts we are covered there. Then there are APT model. Okay, then there is a portfolio evaluation theories, because there are 3 theories. Sharpe. Okay, triennial ratio. Jensen alpha. While this is based on standard deviation, this is based on beta, that is systematic risk, and this is called excess return. Or it is also used indicated by alpha, use of alpha. Generally, this is used in a portfolio, or not a portfolio, as well as a mutual fund, where it is judged how much alpha a portfolio manager or a mutual fund manager has generated. Higher the generation of the alpha, better the portfolio or mutual fund manager, because he is outperforming the market. Okay, then there is a optimal Sharpe portfolio. Portfolio rebalancing strategies is there. 1 second, student. Just I am trying to cover up this. Then asset allocation, fixing strategies are there. Portfolio valuation theories are there. Fixed income portfolio, there is a like barbell strategy, ladder strategy, and bullet strategy. There all have been discussed here. Then there are alternative investment routes, that is investment in distressed securities. All these are routes. Also, generally these are covered in theory. Of course, mutual fund will be covered in later detail. Okay, now next comes the concept of securitization. Dear student, this securitization is basically you can say it is a contemporary source of financing. Here, any company having a receivable, they sell it to the next party, who sell it to you can say bundle all the receivable, then merge them, then again divided them in a part securities to and issue to the market. Okay, all these have been covered here. One student was asking tokenization and how the tokenization is a blockchain. See, tokenization is nothing, but rather than it is kind of a, we can say earlier that when the securities are issuing, of course there are some given some physical forms or some entries. Tokens are generally they are form of, you can say, digital token kind of a thing that can be even transferred. So ultimately things is the same, only their electronic version has come out, and for this the concept of blockchain is used. Okay, now blockchain is basically, now generally sometimes blockchain is confused with the Bitcoin. Student, please note that Bitcoin is a kind of a, I always say that please don't go for investing in the Bitcoins, because see, blockchain is basically a kind of a, you can say, uh, agreement or a small agreement where the some parties have entered into. Okay, they have created some node, because it is a very technical term, because some or you can say they validate it. They validate some transaction. Now this transaction cannot be reversed or cannot be changed unless all the parties are agreed to the same. So it is also called distributed ledger technology. So all these are covered in study material. I cannot completely discuss it here because paucity of time. But once you refer the same, then you will come to know, because it is just kind of a mechanism. Okay, tokenization is kind of a mechanism. Then we are coming, sorry, 1 second. Tokenization, then securitization in India. Of course, it is in nascent stage, but it will develop with the passage of time. Then we come to the next topic, mutual fund. Now, student, this is one of the very good topic and an important topic. Here the basics, meaning, types, and covered evaluation of mutual, role of fund manager, hedge funds, and role of manager. So when there are some terms are associated with the mutual fund, like uh, what terms are associated with, very important terms are like NAV, okay, entry and exit load. So these are some terms which are very important for the calculate numericals, trail commission, expense ratio, side pocketing concept. This is a very good concept because here the stressful assets are separated. Then there is a concept of tracking error. Whether the fund manager has followed the index that we have been advised, that is followed. So this is all are there. Now then it comes a very important concept that is called derivatives. Now when we talk about the derivatives, of course there are, this topic is very important from the two point of view. One is it is an important topic. Another form, this topic forms the basis of the foreign exchange exposure and risk management, because here our derivative means we are trading or we are doing some transactions on the basis of some underlying. Here in this chapter, our underlying is basically the stock or index. Okay, stock or index. Okay, but in the chapter on foreign exchange risk management and interest rate risk management, that is forthcoming chapters, here there will be the underlying will be the forex and interest. So this topic is very important from hedging point of view. Of course, the derivative can be used for speculation. As I told in my class, the volume has increased many-fold in an Indian context also. Most of the investors are now more interested in F1O. But my request to you, since these are academic classes are meant for academic purpose, so my request to you, here your perspective is to have an how derivative can be used for the hedging purpose. 1 second. Yes, Namarta, I will discuss with you. Okay. Now, here, future market are there. What is the difference between all this? Even pricing is there. Pricing for forward, simple. It is using the cost to carry model. Okay. Then we talk about the options. Hedging using the futures is basically index. We use the index futures. When we talk about the option, here in the option, one very important is valuation. When we talk about the valuation, there are three models. One is binomial, then there is a risk neutral, then it is a Black-Scholes model. Okay, student. Now, almost these are on the same line. It is slightly different. So all the concept has been covered there. So I think my request to you, please go through the same, and very simple are they. Just once you read, study them in order and try the questions. Even first time you see the answer, then you try at your own, you will understand the concept. Then there is a credit derivatives. Credit derivatives are generally meant to hedge the credit risk. For this, these are used are credit default of collateralized debt option, credit default swap. So these are some two instruments have been covered here. Then the new topic has been come here is this is real option. This is generally called capital budgeting. Use of options, concept of financial option in the capital budgeting decision, that is called real option. So there can be decision growth option, okay, amendment and option, then timing option. So all are covered. That is growth option means when we are trying some formula or a drugs or a medicine, then these are called growth option. Amendment option, sometime we may have to abandon the idea of accepting any project. We may be wait for 1 year. Okay, so all these are there. Then there is a derivative mishap and lessons. Now, of course, derivative are very fancy, but there are some cases are there where derivatives prove to be wrong, and even sometime it led to collapse of the very established business. And very famous case of the Baring banks is there, where due to the due to the we can say this is error of a judgment or whatever we can say, one person called Nick Leeson, the 230-year Bank of England, Barings Bank, collapsed in 1995. So this case already been discussed there. Then it comes a swap. Swap can be used for currency as well as it can be used for the interest. Maybe there are it is more discussed there. Then it is commodity derivative. Then it is weather derivative, electricity. Now electricity derivative used in India, especially this is used by the Transco companies, okay, who are in the business of distributing the electricity. Now I am coming to the chapter of the foreign exchange risk exposure management. Now here, since the time has left, I will not go by that each and every chapter. Now here, some tips I want to share with you. First of all, very important tip. Lower rate will be always be bid rate. Okay, higher rate will be ask rate, because the difference between these two is the margin of the banker. Clear? Now next, very important, a very common question, sir, up to what decimal point we should round off the rates. Now student, now tip. Follow the decimal point given in the question. Okay, sometimes see in the question, the suppose $1 has been mentioned like 84.3500. Okay, then you have to, this is clear indication. Okay, or there may be some other rate 3575. This is clear indication. They expect you to come out with the answer in the 4 decimal point. Okay, if they have been given in 2 decimal point, you follow the same. Okay, if any instruction has been given, follow the same. Then there is another instruction maybe given in the question, like follow the FIDAI guidelines. Now, when it is given in the you follow the FIDAI guidelines, here your rounding off will be in this multiple. It is very important. Please remember, if it has been mentioned FIDAI guidelines, So each and every rate you have to round it off in the multiple of this. This multiple can be 0.50. Okay, say if your some answer is coming like your rate is coming as 68.7547. So your rate will be 68.7550. True. Now it's a rate is coming 68.7524. Okay, so then your FIDI rate will be 68.7525. Similarly, it is coming 67.5.20. So it will be common 65.7525. But if it is coming, rate is 65.7514. Okay, then you have to see it as 68.7500. So it is matters the last two digits of the multiple. So it is very important. Okay, student. So you have to see it now. So I hope it is clear to you how we have to decimal rounding of your answer. Now, sometimes the rounding of answer comes into the mind when we are talking about any other decisions, like case of a security valuation. So generally for security valuation question like bond valuation, okay, the questions, if nothing has been mentioned, go by the 2 decimal points. Generally the security, never round it off. Okay, in capital budgeting questions, where the figures are in, as I told you, lakhs and crores, just give them an absolute figure unless and until it has been mentioned in the question. Now regarding the taking the PB factors or the decimal points, if nothing has been mentioned, then up to 3 decimal points is a good answer. Okay, student. So I hope that you have got a clarity on how to up to what decimal point we should use this. So this is the basic. This is there nothing any because you have should be very clear about. So because sometimes I have seen the student got confused, not need to get yourself confused. Okay, don't pay heed to the rumors, etc. Okay, student. So here in a foreign exchange market, then it comes up management of the foreign exchange risk. Here there are 3 kind of exposures are there. One is your translation. Okay, then your transaction, then your economic exposure. Generally, more and more questions are relating to this transaction exposure. Then there is another very important terms are associated with this nostro vostro account, lower account. Then there is another concept that is very important, fate of the forward contract. Okay, this can be your delivery, this can be your cancellation, and then this can be your extension. Okay, this can be further divided into on due date, before due date, after due date, cancellation again on due date, before due date, after due date, extension on due date, before due date, and after due date. Generally, whenever we come to for cancellation after due dates, I think it is a rule 6 of the FIDI comes into the picture, which calls for the automatic cancellation. Then further this step will be taken, that is extension and cancellation, even the delivery. So all these have been covered in our Forex chapter, and this is important from examination point of view as well. Okay, student, now I think I have covered most of the things in our foreign currency market is there. Okay, what is a foreign currency? So all these theories have, of course, actually what happens, foreign exchange management is basically a very full-fledged chapter in at MBA level. Here we have tried to make it some important topics from there to in a coverage in our CS curriculum for the perspective of a basic strategic perspective. Okay, as I told you, it is basically here our purpose is to let you know more about the strategy hedging purpose is there. Now next is come the international financial management. Now it means financial management in the international scenario. Of course, there are, if we talk about the financial management, So broadly, there are three functions: capital budgeting, okay, working capital management. Of course, dividend decision is there. I'm not taking it here. And then the arranging of the funds, the source of funds. Okay, so when we talk about the international capital budgeting, so when we talk about the capital budgeting, when we do, because once a company is setting up their plant outside the boundaries of its own country, it will be called international capital budgeting. So accordingly, the concept of multinational capital budgeting comes into the picture. Similarly, when we talk about the working capital management, this can be relating to generally treasury management. Because here the MNC has to employ the various techniques to make the use of the cash management. So this comes out here, that comes the roles of treasury management. There it comes the cash management, the parking of the funds for a short time. Sorry. When we talk about the source of funds, when we talk about the sources of international funds, then it comes the ADR, GDR concept there. Okay, so how much value is there? So this is concepts are there. Euro issues are there. So all has been covered here theoretically. Of course, ADR, GDR, there are numerical, one or two numericals are there. So all are covered here. Then we have come out with the international. This is in a new topic. Gift City. Okay, Gift City is located at Gandhinagar. Am I right? It is Gandhinagar, Gujarat, India, because it is on the lines of the Hong Kong, Singapore Financial Center. Okay, now this is international financial management. So generally these are theoretical oriented. Here some topics numerical have been added there. Okay, student. Now sovereign funds. Generally outside government wants to invest the fund in India. So there are some created some sovereign funds. So it is one of the very important source of finance for the Indians. Then there is adjusted present value. Adjusted present value is basically same that we use in the capital budgeting. Then we come to the interest rate risk management. It is the last part of our hedging portion. Here the interest rate is how we can hedge the interest rate risk. Here it is the ALM. Basically it is a theoretical topic. Here generally used in a bank where the asset and liabilities are matched and according to so that their risk interest rate risk could be minimized. Now then it comes the forward rate agreement. It is kind of a simple forward contract. Just only the difference is that here the interest is there. Okay, underlying is instead of stock, instead of foreign exchange, here the underlying is interest rate only. This is called forward rate agreement. Modern technique includes interest rate future as same again. Here our underlying is interest rate. Sorry. Then interest rate option swaps. Generally, this is very practically used. And first, I think, first swap agreement was entered between IBM and World Bank somewhere around in 1981. Then swapation, that is option on the swaps, that is called swapation. All has been covered there in study material. You are advised to refer the same. Now, we are coming to second last section of our syllabus, and that is the business valuation, because business valuation forms nowadays very important, as I told you, not only for the merger acquisition, because that is the next chapter. Business valuation is also very important for the market point of view. Okay, because even nowadays, due to the divorce proceedings, and there's a transfer of wealth from an spouse to the spouse. The business valuation has become a very important profession. It is just a separate field has come out. Then there are conceptual valuation are there. Then what are the base, asset based, earning based, cash flow based. Then measuring the cost of equity is one of the very important. Then there is approaches like relative valuation approach, equity valuation approach, enterprise valuation. Now it is a contemporary approach, economic value added. Now economic value added, basically this approach is started by the Stern and Sweat somewhere around in 1990s, because they say ki over and above our economic accounting profit, what a manager is on, or we can say what a man. Basically, this started with to evaluate the performance of the manager, because they want to know if we are employing in a business some amount of capital. So they want to assess how a manager is earning over and above the cost of capital. So if you see the formula, you need to cram the formula. The formula is very simple. If I am earning this much post tax without any interest, etc., and my cost of capital is this much, so then how much my is profit? This is called market. But however, there are some issues are with the economic value added, so these are overcome by the market value added. Then there is share value added, and then last in arriving at the fair value, that we have to, because valuation, we cannot decide valuation on a one criteria only, because we have to follow one or two more approaches, then we have to reach to one value. And then these are the topics are there. Now even ESG has come into the valuation. Okay, nowadays there is a now a every company is saying we are going for a sustainability concept. So how the sustainability concept will affect the valuation is also covered here. Then last chapter of this section is merger acquisition. Here, see, merger acquisition is a very big exercise. Here we shall when we talk about the merger acquisition, from our purpose is here to see merger acquisition is covered in many like FR it is reported there, because there it takes care of the accounting aspect. Law paper or some law related paper, merger acquisition is there. They take care their law aspect, regulatory aspect. When we talk about merger acquisition in context of FM or SFM, basically we are concerned with their financial aspect. Okay, because when the merger acquisition is there, of course, it should be the value. It should be beneficial for the shareholder of both the company. So here we have to see how we negotiate the price, or what will be our exchange ratio, how we funding of this merger acquisition will be made out. It can be management buyout, it can be leverage buyout. When we talk about the leverage buyout, it is generally when we borrow the money. If a very good example of a leverage buyout in India is basically Tata Chorus merger. When the company somewhere around in 2007, when the Tata has acquired the Chorus, so they have come out with a very good concept. They borrowed the money in heavy from the Europe, and they buy the company of the UK. That is Tata has become Tata Chorus deal. Then there is another concept is called reverse merger. Then there are defensive techniques are there. These are all very interesting topics. Like sometimes the defensive techniques means a company may not like to get merged, not get acquired. So what techniques they are using? Reverse merger means when a private company is taking over a public company limited. Okay, because generally this route is used because to gain the access to the market. Okay, because for gaining in the market, because it's a very long process. You have to file the papers, then you have to come out with the IPO, appoint a merchant banker, all this. To avoid all this, what they do, they take any public limited company. Okay, so by this, they get an entry into the market. Then very important, divestitures. Value creation is not always by the mergers and acquisition. This can be reverse way. Okay, I think I not recall its name. There was recently a company has demerged, siphon out their one unit, because they want to create the value. Because sometimes it is considered that if we separate the one entity from our, it may have more time. Management may have a more time. Separate management is there, and they have a more time on for value creation. So divestitures even can be proved. Of course, merger acquisition is a very tool to generally. It is said that if merger and acquisition are tool for synergy, then divestiture are the tool for the value creation. Okay, so generally it is also said, because once you are come out, you have own system, you have a own independent capacity, then of course the value will be the more. Then ownership restructuring, that is going private, management that I covered with you. Then unlocking the value through the merger acquisition, that is simple. Cross-border merger. Nowadays, not only in India, we are crossing, and even the foreign companies are crossing the coming to India. This is called cross-border merger. And last is SPAC. Very interesting concept. Special purpose acquisition companies. Now these are companies that are not doing anything. Not don't have any memorandum of association. They have a memorandum of association. Like in India, when we talk about the memorandum of association, we have to first is object clause. Okay, any company may have an object clause that we will produce this item and we will provide these services. But the object clause of this type of a company says we shall acquire the companies. Okay, and then sell it off. Okay, so this concept is more popular in USA. However, it is taking place in India, but it is new to us. Here, the companies are generally set a target. They say, and they float their IPO and invite the money from the investors. And once they got the money, they acquire this company and then they sell the shares of this company or what. So this is the way they earn the profit like this. Okay, so this is a new concept. I think you should be well versed with the same. Okay, student, now we are coming to the last topic of our syllabus, that is startup finance. Now, student, today, earlier in our time when we used to study finance, in our time, term of startup, even we cannot imagine. Okay, private equity words are very never thought of. Of course, private equity concept is very concept of around 50 years back, but the concept that was not prevalent here, it was prevalent in the Western countries. Here, the startup, when we talk about, now today, even if you ask any small child, they will answer you who's the startup. Startup is basically an idea, okay, and which is very away from any traditional idea. So, because Ola, Uber, all these are startups, we have never imagined of that we will have a services that, because in our when the Ola Uber was not there, we have to go to the taxi stand, then we have to book a taxi, even sometimes we have to pay the advance. All used to be something are there. Even what happened, we have paid the advance, even the taxi wala has not come out on a due date and I have to take the flight. This has also happened with me. But nowadays, once this startup like Ola, Uber has come out, you can book the taxi online and easily you can access these services. So this is called startup. So I don't have to explain more on startup, but how we finance a startup, it is very important, because startup is a very new idea. Okay, while the traditional sources of fundings like bank loan, shares, preferential debts, they require some backing. They need some financial background or they need some operational background of a company. Okay, any company may have in a business for 4 to 5 years, only that they will get the fund. But startup has nothing. They say, I have not done business. I will start my business with your money. So now how this money will come and how will the fund arrange, all these are covered in this startup finance. So student, even this last in topic is the succession planning in the business, because nowadays it is very important that whenever any big businesses are succeeded in the next generation, then how to make the planning so that it could be continue to be flourish. Okay, so student, with this we come to the end of our this BOS success. Of course, in the next BOS session, we shall concentrate on our examination techniques, tips for the examination. I will discuss with you a mock test paper, pattern of the course mock test. There we will take more your doubts or related to examination. And I'm just, before winding up, I'm just checking the queries. Rounding of course, percentage course are major problem. Rounding of course, and I've discussed with you rounding off or major quote in a interest up to 2 decimal point you can take. Sir, what paper pattern and weightage of the chapters cannot be weightage have it? Of course, the weightage have been section wise there. Any tip for the scoring? Any tip is that you don't skip any topic and before attempting any question, read each and every line of the question. It may be possible that same question has come into your examination that you have gone through early, just 5 hours before, 3 hours before examination. But please remember, in the question it maybe says inclusive. Here in the question it is exclusive. So please don't get happy that you are getting the same question. Even this is very important tip. Please provide some tips or guidance. Okay. Sir, please share any idea how to use extra 15 minutes. Very good. You have to select it is a good time for you to select the questions where you can perform. In our time, there were no such extra time. We have to make decision time only in the 3 hours. Okay, so here you can make a choice. Which question I will, yes, now you can come here. Now, Manish, what you have to say about the same?
In extra 15 minutes, what I used to do is this 15 minutes, what you have to do is you have to go through your question paper, obviously, and just point out the question that there is one optional question given, right? In descriptive paper also, like 30 marks numerical, 30 marks MCQ and 70 marks descriptive, there is one extra questions, optional question, that what you can do in 15 minutes is you have to just pick the question you are going to skip and mark the question that you are attempt in order. Means in first I will attempt question number 3, then I will do question number 2, or you can start with question number 1, the compulsory question itself. So what you can do in the first 15 minutes is you can mark the continuity, means in continuity which questions you will do it first and which question you will attempt after that. So these things you can do in the 15 minutes.
Student, one query has been left. There was one student asking direct quote and indirect quote, like it is mentioned USD INR. Okay, sometime it may be mentioned like INR USD. Student, please remember, you have to take the idea from the very basic common idea. Like here, if it has been mentioned like say 83, so of course meaning is that in a 1 USD 83 INR is possible, but in 1 INR there is no possibility that there will be 83 USD. Okay, so from this you can get the hint, so there will be no problem. However, in question where is nothing hint is there and there is a confusion, of course we consider both cases. In 1 or 2 questions we have considered like that. Okay, student, with this we come to the end of this session, and as student has told, sir, share your telephone number. So I am sharing my telephone number. This is 0120 3045 956. 0120 is extended code and 3045 956 is our code, and our email ID is sfm-final@ICAI.in. Okay, even you can write us through the mobile app also. Mobile app, there is a query. Okay, so you can contact us either way. So student, we invite you and we request you to be confident and be in touch with us so that you could come out with the flying colors with the examination and pass examination and come out with the members. Okay, student, with this we end up this session. Have a nice day. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.